Hi, everybody. This is the hardest presentation format I've ever done, and I'm condensing an 8,000 word article down to 6 minutes and 20 slides. So I hope you're buckled in. For those of you who I haven't met before, my name is Alex Hillman. I'm the co-founder of Indie Hall, which is one of the world's oldest co-working spaces, established here in Philadelphia in 2006. Over 450 members today, most of whom are freelancers, solopreneurs, people that are striking out on their own. But I'm also the co-founder of an education business called Stacking the Bricks, where we help independent creators build businesses of their own. The thing these two businesses have in common is they weren't me going out into the world and saying, I want to create something. They're both things that we built with a community, not for a community. And I think that's a really important theme through everything I want to talk about tonight. This number showed up around this time of year 2 years ago, I believe it was. And it was a big company, you may have heard of them, said we're going to bring this many jobs to the city of Philadelphia. And everybody, actually to cities across America, and everybody, mayors, business owners, business leaders, started doing backflips and said, what are we going to do to get this big company to come to our city and bring us the jobs that they're promising? The issue is those jobs are not necessarily the jobs that make sense for the city we have today. 50,000 jobs is undeniably a great thing for the city of Philadelphia, but 50,000 jobs from one company is about the worst way to do it. 50,000 jobs from that company is the worst way to do it. So I started thinking about what would be better than that. So if one company at 50,000 is not ideal, maybe 5 companies that are 10,000 employees would be better to attract. 10 companies of 5,000, so on and so forth. And I started sort of reverse engineering those numbers a bit more, and realized that maybe the future of creating jobs doesn't come in these giant factory-sized packages anymore. We should be thinking about job creation from a different perspective, a perspective that actually makes sense for the cities of today. So part of the problem with what we see in job creation and in business creation today is that we have a sort of limited view of the possible jobs in the world. We're seeing startups, we're seeing, and honestly, people only get a chance to see the kind of jobs that they have near home, that their fellow students that they're exposed to at school, and the jobs that they encounter from day to day. And so when they hear about startups, when they hear about starting a business, we get this idea that the only kind of entrepreneur in the world that matters is the next Zuckerberg, another white wealthy dude who's going to come along and save us all. Same problem as with Amazon. So what I'd like to do is start reframing entrepreneurship around creating a sustainable, independent career for yourself. What does it take to create a job for you before you can create jobs for other people? Focusing on creating a job where you're not just generating income for yourself, but the ability to pay for your own benefits and the ability to continue to grow as a professional. But the reasons that people don't go out and create jobs for themselves are very real. A lot of them have never seen somebody like them do it. It's a huge barrier. It seems really risky. And let's be honest, if we're in America, healthcare is one of the biggest barriers to going out on your own for people today. But if more people would go out on their own, they would start seeing other people like them, create businesses like the ones that they're capable of creating, and realizing, wait, if that person can do it, maybe I can too. They also will inevitably, as entrepreneurship shows you time and again, as you run into problems, you need the ability to solve those problems. So many folks run into problems with starting a business. They don't know other people like them. They don't know people who started businesses like them. So they don't know who to turn to, and they start thinking, I'm the first one to experience this problem. These barriers are totally addressable, and we've been doing it for over a decade at Indie Hall by creating a deliberate community of practice, a place where people can come together, earn the trust of their peers, which allows them to be able to speak up when they have a problem, to share that they're struggling, and then for somebody else who's 1, 2, or 3 steps ahead of them to say, hey, I've been exactly where you are, and I'm here to help you. Once people do strike out on their own, there's a lot of reasons why those independents don't grow. A lot of them don't know how to treat their work like a business. We're so used to thinking of work as a job. Running a business is an entirely different skill set. A lot of folks also rely entirely on organic growth, and they don't actually have a business strategy in play. And once again, they don't have other people around them to help solve the problems they run into. But independents do have the ability to thrive with those deliberate communities of practice. And oops, I'm one slide off. And by the time people are able to put on their own oxygen mask economically, they're able to start putting the oxygen mask on other people as well. These slides are going fast. 8,000 words, my friends. So 90,000 new independents in America. So that's just 2 years ago. If we can, in Philadelphia, generate 1% of that, we have the ability to blow the Amazon numbers off the rails. And we have some great examples in our own ecosystem, things like the Enterprise Center that have been around for decades, and new entities like Rec Philly that are actually doing the work in the communities. They already have the trust of the individuals and the entrepreneurs to give them the support they need to go out on their own. Meanwhile, in the city of Philadelphia, we do have some very real pitfalls to deal with. One of the biggest ones, as I mentioned, is healthcare. But I spent the last 6 months working with partners, both some local hospitals as well as some new interesting healthcare companies who want to sort of work on the outside of insurance and try and make sure that our people are able to get real access to doctors. The other big problem we have is our K through 12 system, and that's a problem that I don't know how to solve. But I know that if we start thinking about it together, that's going to be a critical component. All of this is to say, we don't need Vegas bets or giant tax incentives to generate 50,000 jobs. If we focus on helping 10,000 people become sustainably independent in Philadelphia first, they become the future generation of employers that we need, and it starts here. It starts with us. I've got a much longer and much more cohesive version of that at dangerouslyawesome.com/10K. I would encourage you to check it out. Read through it. If there's something that resonates with you, if there's something that makes you think of an organization that you're a part of or that you know that I should talk to, please do. I want to create 50,000 jobs by first creating 10,000 independents. Thanks.